Hello everyone, this is Pam, Rose City Stitcher, coming to you with my October update. Today is October 30th, Sunday, so I have a little bit of time today, so I thought I'd go ahead and film today. Being that tomorrow's Halloween, I probably won't get a lot of stitching done anyway, so I thought I'd go ahead and do my update today. So this is a channel about cross stitch, so if that's what you've come to see, you're in the right place. Thank you for joining me today and seeing some of my progress. I hope that you like what you see. I've been stitching a pretty good bit this month, so I got a lot to show you today. So I'm going to go ahead and just dive right in. I have one finish and I worked on 9 projects. So let me go ahead and show you what I've finished. I finished Hickety Pickety. You'll see I left off the little chicks. I decided I just didn't really need those on there. I really just wanted the witch and the rooster. So I think it looks good like that. Excuse me. It's on Jobelin Sandcastle, which I think looks really good on this fabric. So that was my one finish. I had hoped for more, but that was all I was able to finish up this month. So let me go ahead and show you what I've worked on. These aren't in any particular order, they're just how they're coming out of my bag. I worked on Gathering Acorns by Cottage Garden Samplings. I told you I was really wanting to work on this one, and I ended up working on this one a whole lot. I ended up finishing the tail. Such a fun stitch. I really loved this project a whole lot. And this is on, let's see, hand-dyed fabric by Rolanda Frappuccino. Also 14 count, so very easy to stitch on, very fun, and I think it's a great fabric for this project. I plan on working on this again in November. I'm really in the mood for fall stitching right now, so that's probably what I'll mostly be stitching on. The rest of for November is some of my fall stitching. Oops. Put that in there. Okay. Then I worked on, I tried so hard to get this one finished this month, but it just didn't happen. And that was my mason jar lineup. I worked on this during 24 hours of cross stitch, and I worked on this for like 3 hours doing back stitching. And the back stitching on this is just brutal. It's like takes so long. So here's where I am. I did get some more of the back stitching done. I back stitched this flower. I stitched the rest of the jars, and I stitched these the pink flowers there. It just took so long to do. So I'm gonna keep plugging away at it. I still have 2 more flowers, 3 more sets of flowers to do. And I said I'll try again to pull this out, and maybe I don't know if I'll be able to finish it the next time I'll pull it out or not. We'll see. I am determined to finish this year, so hopefully I will be able to do that. Right, next one that I worked on, let's see, what is this one? Oh yes, my Sea Flora by Nora Corbett. I did do a lot of beading on her. Spent a weekend, the weekend that I had off, the Friday I had off, I beaded on her. And she is all beaded. I wish you could see the beads, but it's kind of hard to see them. Kind of see them a little bit. So she is all beaded. All that is left is the beading across the top, the thing that she's holding. I just have to finish all that, which you can see there's a good kind of a good bit to that, but that's all that's left on her is that. So just have to do that. I'm planning on probably doing that during my Thanksgiving break. I'm planning to finish her then, because I'll have the whole week to work on that, because we're not going to celebrate Thanksgiving until that Saturday after Thanksgiving. So that means I'll just have the whole week free. So I'm very excited about that. And this fabric it's an under the sea fabric called Mermaid's Sea, I believe, is what it's called. Oh, there it is. Yep, Mermaid Sea Jobelin by Under the Sea Fabrics. So I'm very excited. Like I said, this one should definitely be a finish this month for the month of November. And hopefully that mason jar lineup will be a finish for November. Okay, then another one I worked on was Dorothy's Discovery. This was another one I had thought I might get finished, but there was a lot more left to stitch on this than I realized there was. So this is by Silver Creek Samplers. And I did stitch a lot on it, but there ended up being the bricks at the bottom are going to take a little bit longer than I expected. But I finished Toto. I did her ruby slippers with the petite treasure braid. And I did the rainbow. And then that green down here, and started doing the bricks, which the bricks go all the way across the words. And then I still have to do her dress. So a little bit more to finish this than I expected. I'm still hoping that this one maybe will be finished by the end of the year. We'll see. But if not, that's okay. It can go into the next year. Okay, another. Oh, I forgot I have another finish. I finished my Santa's house. I was thinking I had 2 finishes, but I couldn't remember what the other one was. But it was this one. I finished Santa's house. I'm not doing any of the French knots, beads, any of that, buttons until the end, because this is all going to be on one piece. So yeah, it turned out so good. I love it. So finish that one. So I'll be ready to start on the next one. Not sure when I'll start the next house, but we'll start it this year. I don't know which one is next, but anyway, I will be starting another one of those. And then for full coverage Fridays, I was working on Quick Stitch Spring to Life by Hannah Lynn, Heaven and Earth Design. And I decided I'm just going to stitch all the black to outline, and I'm loving it. You see how much I got done? I love it. It ended up being I think I stitched about 300 stitches each time I did it two Fridays. So it's about 700 stitches in this on the black. But I love it. You can kind of see where her bow is now. So I like just doing the black, and that's what I'll continue doing, just doing the black till the black is all done. And then I can go wherever I want to, filling in. So that was a lot of fun. Okay, and then I'll pull out my other full coverage piece, my mini shaman. I worked on it a couple of Fridays also. Her cover page. Let's see. There it is. There's that one by Ruth Thompson. And I worked on the black. Or it's not black, it's 939. So it's a dark blue. And I continued coming down the side, trying to get to the bottom on that. Let me see if I can show you over. So you can see that's the bottom. So I'm at the bottom, and I'm at that corner. So it's getting there. So not going to be done this year, but I'm going to figure out how many stitches are left on her and on the Quick Stitch Spring to Life, and see if I can come up with a plan, see how many stitches I need to get those both done next year, because that's what I would like to do. The Quick Stitch Spring to Life isn't that big, so I should be able to do that. And this one is pretty much at the halfway mark, so I'm hoping I can do the same if and I'll talk a little bit about my plans a little bit later, but that's kind of what I'm hoping to do, is get those two finished. The Shaman's been going since 2014, so I'd really like that one to get finished next year before 10 years. So yeah, that's kind of my plan on that. Okay, and then I worked on Aladdin. That was my Whipco piece. I didn't end up working on the other Whipco piece at all. But this one I ended up working on every Saturday because I found there was a sale where it was called Soda Stitch Saturday. And so that kind of kept me motivated to work on this every Saturday. So here's what that looks like. And I got so much more done than I expected to. I had told you that I had planned to get this motif done. That was my goal. And I got so much more done than that. So you can see I finished those two motifs and I finished the ring. I started doing the turban there and I finished all the outline. I finished outlining the other 3 boxes. So I'm so pleased with my progress on this. So the ring, I went ahead and outlined it because I don't want to save all the back stitching for the last. So I'm going to bring you up close so you can kind of see the detail on that versus the others that haven't been back stitched yet. So super happy with this progress. This will go away now because I was just going to do that Soda Stitch Saturday for the month of October. So I will put it away now, but I'm really happy for the progress I've made on that for the year. And this is on Maze Flowers by Fabrics by LJ, the 28 count Lugana. So yes, so very pleased at the progress I've made on this one. So now it has some good progress on it. And then the last one, this is kind of a new start. It's Haunted House Trio by Waxing Moon Design. I had done the first one, and I went ahead and started the next one. So there's the first one, and then you can see where I started the next one. So I was going to do these initially I was going to do them all on one piece all together, but then I decided I didn't want to. I was going to do them as separate little flat folds. But when I figured up my space here, I did 3 inches, not realizing I needed 3 inches on this side and 3 inches on this side. So I don't know if that's going to be enough space in between or not. I'll have to see. So I'll have to think about that and what I do about that. This is called Awakening by Bee Stitch Me, a Jobelin 32 count. So this is one of the few 32 counts that I actually am able to stitch on without any problem. And this is in my awesome, one of my few bags that I have that I just love. So this one I probably won't stitch on anymore unless I would maybe stitch on it tomorrow for Halloween. But I just was kind of in the mood for some Halloween stitching and decided I'd start that one. So that is all of my stitching for the month. So like I said, happy with it. Happy with what I got done. I feel like I made some good progress considering it was a really, really busy month. But I tried to make myself stitch every night when I came home just to be able to relax a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is show you, I've gone through my whips, went through all my whips, close to the end of the year. So I decided to go through my whips and decide which ones I may want to UFO and which ones I may want to restart or do something different with. So that's what I spent this past weekend doing. So I wanted to show you which ones I decided to UFO and which ones I decided to maybe restart for some reason. So first let me show you the restarts. So the first one is the Lizzie Kate's 3 Little Words. I have all of them, and I was going to do them on one piece, but I tried to do the border at least 3 times, and I never can get the border to line up, so I'm done with that. I'm not going to do it as one piece. I'm going to do them, just pick the ones I like and do them separate. And they're just going to be separate little frame pieces. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. Because some of them I don't even know that I necessarily want to do. We'll see. So that's what I decided to do on that. So I'm going to unpick that border and then just do the ones that I want on here, spaced apart, to do as individual little projects. So that's what I'm going to do with that one. So it's still going to get done, just going to be done a different way than I initially planned. Okay, this one is going to be a restart. This is Sizzlin' Summertime Carnival by Tempting Tangles. It's on a 32 count and Picture This Plus, and I just cannot do 32 count Picture This Plus. I can do 32 count on others, but that one I just cannot. I never want to pull this out every time I try. And I've still got a thread hanging where I just was like, I just gave up. So luckily it's not very much of a start. So I'm just going to get a different fabric because I really do love this piece. I love fair pieces. So I'm going to just restart it on find a different yellow that I like, because I like the yellow, and restart this. Probably restart it next summer, since it's a kind of a summertime piece. So that's my plan on that one. The next one I'm going to restart for the same reason. This is called Spring Fling by With Thy Needle. Again, I love this fabric, so I'm just going to have to see if I can find it on a 28 count. It's Chablis. If I Picture This Plus, I think it's a perfect fabric, but again, I cannot see it. And that's all I've done since last year. I just never want to pull it out because it's just too hard to see, especially with it being this kind of a darker color. So that is going to be a restart, maybe in the spring. The next one that's going to be a restart, I talked about this and everybody agreed that I needed to just do away with the border. So that's what I'm going to do. So that's Flying Lessons by Teresa Kogut. Told everybody I was really hung up on the border and I didn't really like the border that much. So I'm going to just do away with the border. So I don't know if I can just stitch it on start on the other side, if it'll fit, and not have to pick all that out. So that's going to kind of be restarted also without the border. Because I really like the project. I think it's cute. The little Santa with the sheep is really cute. But the border is like way too much. And the last one, this was just started, and I told you I didn't know if I was going to be able to keep going on it, and I decided I'm not even going to try. And that's by Trick or Treat. Like I said, I wanted to pull this out, and it was like, nope, I just don't want to stitch. This is on a linen by Picture This Plus, and I can't stitch on that either. Well, I love Picture This Plus, but 28 count Lugana or Jobelin is all I can do on that. So, and this had, like I said, just the smallest of a start. I had just done the little bit of border. So that'll be just this away, and like I said, just restart it. I'll probably put all the flosses away and everything because I won't start this probably until next Halloween. So I'll probably put all these flosses away to use for other projects through the year, and then pull them back out when I get ready to restart it. So that's my restarts. Now let me show you my UFOs. The first one, and I think I might have talked about this, Feast of Friendship. I just don't ever want to pull this out. It's not really my cup of tea. I'm not really big on sampler type pieces. There's a few that I like, but most of them I just don't care for. So here's as far as I got, and just don't really like it. I don't like the border. It's hard to do. So yeah. So these that I'm UFOing, I'm not like throwing them away or anything like that, but I'm just gonna unkit them and just put them in a box, my UFO box, and then because who knows, my taste might change, and then I might want to work on it. So I'm not going to completely get rid of it because I could always get back in the mood for it. But for now, it's gonna go in my UFO pile. The next one is Fresh Cut. This was a Stitcher's Quarterly, and I really don't like this one very much. I don't like the colors. The colors are just really, I just really don't like the pastel. I like more vibrant colors. So this one is going to be UFO'd. I may restart it sometime and maybe change the colors out to brighter colors. But yeah, I don't like these pale colors for a springy piece. I'd like brighter colors. So that one's gonna be UFO'd. The next one I'm UFOing and have no intention of doing this one is this going to market. This one I probably will get rid of because it doesn't fit my decor. I'm not really sure why I even bought it, but it's not one that I'm ever going to stitch. So that one will be going away. The next one, Strawberry Fields Forever. Again, just not my cup of tea. I never want to pull this out. So this one's going to be UFO for now, and all the floss put away to use with something else. So, and here's where I had gotten a pretty good bit done, but I just really don't have a desire to work on this at all. So, like I said, I'll put it away. Maybe I'll change my mind later. So we'll see. The next one, I have waffled back and forth on this one. I finally decided I'm not going to do this one. I'm not going to get rid of the pattern, but this one, I have the smallest of start, so I'm going to repurpose this fabric because it's a huge piece of mushroom Lugana that I could use for a lot of other pieces since this is such a very small start. So this one is going to go away. And like I said, maybe eventually I will be in the mood to stitch on something like this, but right now it's just too big, too overwhelming, and I just don't like all the border and everything on it. Next one is the Sampler Company. You can tell I'm really just not a big sampler person, so getting rid of a lot of my samplers. This is called Plymouth Sampler. Again, I just never want to stitch on this. And I got a border done, and then I thought, well, maybe if I come over and start doing some of the other, but I'm never in the mood for this. Even right now, with it being, November, Thanksgiving, I still don't really have a desire to work on it. So this is another one that'll go away. It's gonna go away. Okay. Last one will probably kind of be a surprise. As much as I like my fancy ladies, I'm gonna give up on Nantucket Rose. This is another one I never want to pull out. I love the other fancy ladies so much more. I'm never in the mood for this one. And I mean, she's got a good bit done, but I never want to pull this out anymore. So, like I said, I'm gonna just put it away. Maybe the desire will come back sometime, but for now, I have no desire at all to stitch on this one. So it's gonna go away also. So that's what I've decided. Let me know your thoughts on any of those. That's kind of what I've decided to do. Okay, so next up, I guess I'll talk about plans real quick and then I'll show my haul. So, immediate plans for November and the rest of the year, just finish what I can. Basically, I'm not keeping any hard and fast rules like I did. It was starting to stress me out. I was like, okay, I have to work on this because I need to get a finish. And then I wasn't wanting to stitch at all. So if I finish some more, great. If I don't, that's okay. But I'm going to try to work on seeing if I can maybe finish a few more before the end of the year. But right now I'm in the mood for fall stitching, and I don't really have any fall projects that are close to a finish. So, because I finished most of them last year. So I don't really have any this year that are close to a finish. So I may start some more so I can have some to finish up and have for next year. So that's kind of my plans for the rest of the year. And then going into 2023, what my plan is going to be similar to what I had done in years past with my rotation, but it's going to be changed up a little bit. Before, I had my categories and I stitched 4 days on each of the categories and just went through the month. And I'm not going to do it that way because sometimes what happened was things wouldn't get stitched on, certain days because of being busy, and then the weekends, certain other projects would hit the weekend and maybe would get more progress. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to spend 2 weeks on full coverage pieces, or large pieces, not necessarily full coverage, but large pieces. So that'll be my Heaven and Earth designs, my Dimension Gold kits, any of, my Snow White, Thomas Kincaid, I consider that a large piece. So any of my large pieces, I'll spend 2 weeks on. It may be the same one for all 2 weeks. I may switch out depending on if I need a change. So it could be 1, it could be 2. And then the other 2 weeks, I'm going to spend on one of my fancy ladies. Again, it may be the same one for the whole 2 weeks, or it may be one of them 1 week, a different one the other week, just depending on how I feel. I feel like if I do it that way, I will start making more progress on my fancy ladies, because I have others I want to start, but I don't want to start anymore until I get some of those finished. So that'll hopefully help me finish some fancy ladies and help me get closer to a finish on some of my large projects. And then on the weekend, I will stitch on my small and mediums. So that'll still give me time to get some finishes on the small and medium pieces and still be working towards a finish on the larger pieces and the fancy ladies. So that's kind of what my plans are. I'm excited about them. I think I'll make good progress that way. I have noticed that I'm really wanting to spend more days on a project. I'm wanting to see more progress. And when I just spend a day or two, you don't really see that progress. So I thought if I have a whole week, 5 days to work on those big pieces and the fancy ladies, I'll see more progress. And then that still allows me time on the weekend to stitch on my seasonal pieces, because most of those aren't, my larges, and stitch on my book room projects, which are also more of my, smaller medium projects in the Mill Hill kits. So that's kind of my plans. I'm excited about them. I think it'll work good. So that's kind of what I'm going to go into 2023 with. I may start a lot. I'd watched Amy Loves Toads, and they had talked about having a starting party on New Year's Eve. That sounds like a lot of fun. So I may do that, and I have a lot of projects I want to start. So I may do that and start a bunch of things on New Year's Eve. I was looking at my calendar. We don't go back to school until like the 5th, something like that. So that'll be great. It's like I can do that on New Year's Eve. I'll still have several days off to get everything organized. And like I said, that sounds like a lot of fun. I've decided I'm not worried about how many whips I have. I'm not even going to worry about counting them. It's like it doesn't matter. It's like it doesn't matter if the pattern is kitted or started or in the drawer ready to be kitted. I'm just like Terry Lee said, that this, my hobby, I can do it how I want, and I'm not going to stress anymore about how many projects I have. I want to finish for sure, but I want to just kind of stitch on what I want to stitch and not worry about all the numbers. So that's kind of how I'm going to go into 2023 with. So let me real quickly show you my haul. I didn't have very much haul until the last week or so. I'd been doing pretty good, but then things went a little crazy. First off, let me show you my planner. I got my planner for 2023. I absolutely love it. It's this one here. It's called At a Glance 2023, and it's purple, my favorite. And what I like about it so much, this is the same planner I used last year, and I really enjoyed it. It has a place on the front to put 8 possibilities, so 8 goals that you want to complete. I didn't do so good last year. I completed 2. But if I had looked back at those goals and realized what I had said I was going to do, I probably would have done a little bit better. So this year, for 2023, I need to make sure I look at my goals every month, so I am kind of working towards those goals. And then for each month, it has a place to put 3 goals that you want to work through on the month. And then it has your big idea, like, if you have a big idea of something that I want to do. Like, for example, maybe this month is going to be the month that I'm going to finish, something. I could put that up there. Or if there's some kind of a challenge or a sale that I want to do, I could put that there. And then it has then the weekly spread. This is where I just write down what I stitched on, so I know when I get ready to do my Flosstube what projects I'd stitched on. And then it has your wins of the week, so you can put, what did you do good? What are you proud of for the week? So I kind of like that too. And what's also good is at the back, it has a place to put some things, 2 little pockets, and it has, which the other one didn't have last year, it has expense tracking, which I love. So that way, what I buy, my tracking can be in here with all my cross stitch stuff instead of in my budget with everything else. I can see at a glance what I bought, when I bought it, as far as my cross stitch. So that's my planner. I'm very excited about using that. So that's that. And then, let's see, I'll save my box for last. These are the patterns that I bought. Okay, I bought 3 yesterday. We have a quilting store, but it has just a little bit of cross stitch. Of course, it had just enough for me to find things. So I bought 3 patterns there. I bought this one, as I love strawberries. I got this one. I'd seen other people with this one, and I thought it was so pretty. A beautiful autumn. Like I told you, I'm ready for autumn, fall stitching, so this really grabbed my attention. I'll probably start this one here very soon. And this one too. This is called Pumpkin Patch by Primrose Cottage, and I just love it. I have a patriotic one that's similar with the truck. So this one will also probably get started very soon. Like I said, I need some more fall stitching. I don't have hardly any fall stitching. And then Heaven and Earth Design had a sale. I can never pass up their sales. So I bought 2 mini magic roses by Genovia Art. I just love it. I've seen Darling Bluebell stitching on that, and it's gorgeous. And this one's also by her. This is called Magic Pond, and Darling Bluebell's been stitching on this one also, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So I bought both of those for the sale. And then I bought Little Dove Designs. They were having on 1, 2, 3 Stitch. Their Little Dove Designs were 20% off, and I had a bunch of those on my wish list. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and buy those since they're on sale, and they were on my list. So let me show you those. I got 3 of them. Let's see. So I got this, and again, this is probably going to get started very soon. A Stitch for All Seasons Autumn. I absolutely love this. This is so, so pretty. I love the little girl all dressed walking her dog. And got the apple picking with the cat sitting on the ladder. And the tractor, the barn, scarecrow. I just love all of this. This is so nice. I really like. And she has one for every season. I will probably do all of them. The spring one, I don't stitch a lot of spring, but her spring one is really, really pretty. So I will probably get that one for spring. And like I said, then she's got one for the other 2 seasons too. So eventually I think I'll stitch all of them. So yeah, love it, love it, love it. And then I bought this one. This one I've really, really been wanting. Adjust Your Sails. This one I'm going to put in my bedroom. I love it. This is another one I really do. I want to start it like now. I just love it. It's so beautiful. I mean, I love it. The bottom. It's got the ship and the jellyfish and the little whale. Oh, so cute. Lighthouse. Love it. Love it, love it. And then the last one, I told you I like the fair. This is all the fun at the fair. So this one I'll probably wait on. It's like I'll probably wait and start this one in the summer. But it was on my wish list and it was 20% off, so I went ahead and got it. And then I've been wanting this Prairie Schooler, so I went ahead and got it. I've seen several people stitch it and it's so cute. And I'd stitched another one that was a larger one like this and I loved every bit of it. So I like the two little ones that go with it too. So like I said, I would like to start this tomorrow if I have fabric, if I'm not too tired, because crazy day tomorrow is kids get to dress up as storybook characters, so they're going to come to school just a while tomorrow. So at the end of the day, I don't know that I'll be in the mood to do anything, but I would, if I have some fabric, I might want to start this because that's just too cute. Too cute, too cute. And then I got Kitty and Me. This one just happened to be also on my wish list and it popped up as being on sale. And I've been wanting to do one of these. So I got this one called Rainbow. I like these. I think these are cool. So I like the bright colors in this one. And then the last thing I got is Victorian Dollhouse by Joan Elliott. Me and Terry Lee Crafts are going to stitch this together. I'm not sure when we agreed we were going to do this, Terry Lee, but I need to get my fabric and then I'll be ready whenever you want to start this one. I've had my eye on this. In fact, this is like the second project pattern on my wish list because I have been wanting this. So when she mentioned it, I said, yes, it's on my wish list. Let's do it. So yeah, we'll be starting this one sometime. I love it. Okay, and then the last thing, the reason I went to the quilting store was I knew they had the Bee in My Bonnet boxes. And I didn't want to buy it from Fat Quarter Shop because they're big and I didn't want to pay for the shipping. So I went there to get one of these boxes. And this is what it is. It's a stitch card box. What I'm going to use these for, I'm going to use the larger size index cards, the 4x6 instead of 3x5. And this is where I'm going to keep up with my projects because that's what Terry Lee Craft said that she was doing, is putting on an index card. And I decided I like that idea too because what I've been doing is using the cross stitch journal that Fat Quarter Shop has, and it works out great, but you have to remember what year you started it, or you don't know which book it's in, because I've been doing it since 2020, so I have a 2020 book, a 2021 book, and a 2022 book. So when I want to look up something, I have to be like, okay, what year did I start that to find which book it's in? And so that's really not that helpful. So I've decided to put my index cards in this box, so it's in a nice cute box, and it's very big, so I can put all kinds of information. I can put like my kitted projects on an index card in here, finished projects, and maybe what if I have the finishing things for finishing a project, I can put that information in here. There's plenty of room to put all the information that I want. And then it came with alphabet, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my projects in here in just ABC order, so that way I will be able to find what I need to know, and I can write any information on them. So that's my little box that I'm going to keep up with all of my stuff. So that's okay. So real quick, the video is a little longer than usual. It's already at 40 minutes, but I wanted to real quickly tell you about two books that I read because I read them because of Halloween. They're two spooky books. So if you're in the mood for a spooky book, these are two great ones. The first one I read was called Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. This was kind of a ghost story. It was really, 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 really good. It was basically about this haunted hotel and about this girl that comes to the hotel to find out what happened to her aunt who disappeared like 25 years ago, and all kinds of spooky crazy stuff is going on. I mean, this one really it scared me a little bit. There was a couple times I actually had to close it up and be like, okay, I'm done with that for the night. It was a little bit creepy, but really, really good. A really, really good story. And the other one that I finished was Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. This was so good, and the ending was so twisted that I'm like, I didn't see it coming. I was like, what in the world? It was so good. It's kind of like Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, where they go to this house that's kind of on an island, and once they get there, they're stuck until the tide goes down. So they're stuck there for like 5 hours. They're there for their grandmother's 85th birthday, I think it is. And early on in the book, she dies. And then people start getting picked off one by one, and they're like trying to figure out who is doing it, because the only people there are all the family, and they're like, who's killing the family? And like I said, it's really, really, really good, really atmospheric, and I loved it. It was a really, really good, just mystery whodunit type book. So if you're interested in anything like that, pick this one up. If you want something a little scarier, pick this one up. So anyway, so that was my books, my 2 5-star reads that I had for the month. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up so I can get this uploaded today. I'm planning on doing another video, just a Flosstube extra, showing all of my heaven and earth design patterns that I have. I have a lot. They're in a big binder. I thought it might be nice for me to see what all I have and what I might want to start for next year, because I'm kind of in the mood for some more full coverage. And I thought maybe you might want to just see what I have. Sometimes it's hard on the Heaven and Earth Design webpage to see patterns, see what they have. So this can kind of give you an idea of what I liked and what I found on that website, what I purchased. So I'm planning on doing that video sometime soon. I don't know if I'll do it today or a little bit later, but be looking for that, because I'm going to do that video pretty soon. And I may start doing even a few more Flosstube extras, just showing some of my stash, maybe showing my kitted projects, different things like that for y'all to see. So let me know if there's anything that you are interested in seeing, and maybe I can do that for you. So with that, I'm going to sign off for now. Everybody have a happy Halloween tomorrow. Stay safe if you celebrate the holiday, and I will see you soon. Bye.